We've had an eventful past couple of days between Powell testifying and everything leading up to our massive NFP event happening tomorrow. To get caught up on everything Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve had planned, check out these two videos on the A1 Trading YouTube channel. You can learn all about what Powell said before Congress, the Fed's plan for monetary policy moving forward, and get some analysis covering how these events will affect the market and the dollar's strength. But we have some more news and numbers to report on, so let's get right into it. Interest rates in Australia raised the expected 25 basis points up to 3.6%. Yesterday, Canada's interest rate decision was released, remaining unchanged at 4.5%. We also had the ADP non-farm employment change and the JOLTS job claims, two metrics that factor into the unemployment rate. Both came back better than expected. The unemployment claims, however, came out worse than expected. We'll see how all of this plays out tomorrow morning when the new unemployment rate report comes out. Come watch the spike with us live tomorrow morning right here on the A1 channel, starting at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Speaking of the unemployment rate, Canada's unemployment rate will be happening tomorrow as well. All the more reason to come join us for the live stream as we cover the news. All right, everybody, here we are back in the Edge Finder, and instead of checking out the market heat map today, why don't we check out the Smart Money Tracker? This is a different feature that we have in the Edge Finder. The market heat map shows us how our assets are trending so far today, but the Smart Money Tracker also gives us some really useful information. It's showing us COT report data, and if you're unfamiliar with COT report data, this is what institutional traders, or sometimes called smart money traders, basically what the big hedge fund guys, the guys who are getting paid lots of money to trade professionally, this is what they are buying and selling. This is what they're going long and short on. We can also take a look at retail sentiment. That's what day traders are buying and selling. But let's see what our institutional traders are going long and short on. So over here on the right, we have our most bullish asset, currently the euro, 76.48% long, 23.52% short. And over here on the far left, we have our most bearish asset, that is the yen, 73.38% short here and 26.62% long. We do have Canadian dollar and US dollar news coming up. Of course, the unemployment rate decisions happening tomorrow. And so for the Canadian dollar here, pretty heavily favored short, 66.6% short, 33.4% long there. And the US dollar, on the other hand, 67.14% long and 32.86% short. If I scroll down here, we can also take a look at our total number of long contracts open, our total number of short contracts open, the changes long and short from the most previous data, and of course the percentages there as well, with our most bullish asset, the euro, up here towards the top, and our most bearish asset, the Japanese yen, down here at the bottom. Really quickly, why don't we check out retail sentiment just so that we can get a look at what our retail traders are going long and short on. We're currently looking at major currency pairs. These are US dollar pairs. Want access to our free Forex course? Fill out the form in the description below to get access for free today. Read up on technical strategies, fundamental analysis, and risk management tips our team uses here at A1 Trading. Be on the lookout for an email from one of our team members with access to the free course. AUD USD, our most heavily favored long US dollar pair from retail traders, 81% long, 19% short. USD CAD, on the other hand, our most short pair from the retail traders, 95% short, only 5% long here. Let's look at our minor currency pairs now. If I go over here, select minor currency pairs only, and click off of that box. There we go. Here are the rest of the currency pairs that we track in the Edge Finder. AUD CHF is our most long asset from retail traders. 98% long, 2% short there. And Euro AUD, our most shorted minor currency pair from the retail traders, 88% short, 12% long. And how about I bring in the major currency pairs as well? There we go. Here is a list of all of the assets, long and short, with our most long up here towards the top and our most short down here at the bottom. AUD CHF, the most long, USD CAD, the most short. Let's go into the watch list, check out our buy and sell biases. I'm going to remove any indices or commodities that we may have. Looks like we have both, and just leave us with currency pairs only. So we have a pretty solid list to take a look at here. We have 4 strong buys and 5 strong sells, a couple other buys and sells here mixed in as well. USD CAD, CHF JPY, USD JPY, and USD ZAR are our strong buy biases. NZD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD, Aussie NZD, and Aussie USD are our strong sell biases. Now we do have, like I've mentioned, US dollar and Canadian dollar unemployment rate decisions happening tomorrow, or unemployment rate reports happening tomorrow, rather. I did break down USD CAD earlier in the week. If you go to Monday's report video where I covered the news, I covered USD CAD. It still had a strong buy bias, still had a score of +8. So that information there is still relevant. So perhaps we'll look at a sell instead, and so I'm thinking Aussie USD or Aussie NZD, both strong sell scores of -10. Aussie USD has been a strong sell score for a while, a strong sell -10 score for a while, in fact, and I don't think that that's going anywhere anytime soon. Aussie NZD, however, is a new pair to reach this -10 strong sell bias. Why don't we break down for today Aussie NZD? A really strong sell score of a -10. It's up here. There we go. So here we go, breaking down Aussie NZD, strong sell bias, like I mentioned, a score of -10. COT data is a score of -2, and our retail sentiment is a score of -1. We can break down those numbers right over here. So here's that COT data that we were talking about earlier, institutional trader data. Currently 75.2% long, 24.8% short for the New Zealand dollar, and 65.93% short, 34.07% long for the Australian dollar. So institutional traders clearly heavily favored long here on the New Zealand dollar and still favored short here on the Australian dollar. AUD NZD retail sentiment 76% long, 24% short. So retail traders pretty heavily favored long on AUD NZD currently. We can take a look at seasonality. That's a score of -1. We can see in the month of March that just barely AUD NZD performs a little bit bearishly in the month of March. We're taking a look at the last 10 year averages. How does it trend in the month of March? Does it typically perform better in the month of March than whatever price point it started the month at, or does it typically finish lower? And we can see that in the last 10 years it performs just a little bit worse, historically speaking, in the month of March. Our trend reading is a score of -2, and over the past couple days we did have a little bit of a nice move to the upside, but since then have come all the way back down with a really strong downward move happening the other day. We can see a little bit of a downward trend there as well. So I suspect if we took a look at a weekly chart, we would see lots of downward momentum with that strong -2 trend reading score, and price forecast predicts that they will continue to make those downward moves. We can finish up with our fundamentals: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates right here, all scores of -1. So we can take a look at those numbers right over here. GDP growth for New Zealand 2% compared to 0.5% for Australia. New Zealand's inflation 7.2% compared to 7.8% in Australia. The unemployment rate in New Zealand 3.4% compared to 3.7% in Australia. And lastly, the interest rates, 4.75% interest rates in New Zealand compared to just 3.6% in Australia. So there we go, breakdown of AUD NZD really quickly for you. I'll go ahead and mention just super briefly that we do have 3 different payment plans for the Edge Finder available for whatever budget works best for you. We have our free version. You can get access to the free version of the Edge Finder in the link down in the description below. Right now, it's a limited version of the Edge Finder, but you can get access to the software and all of those free features that come with it for life just by getting access in the link down in the description description below, but we also have the basic and the pro version of the Edge Finder. The basic has a few more features than the free version, and you can get a discount on that one, or the pro version that has all of the features available, as well as any upcoming features and updates coming free of charge. Once you get the Edge Finder, you have it for life. You can get that at a discount when you use code A1YT at checkout. So go check out the links in the description down below. You can get discount on the Edge Finder Pro and the Edge Finder Basic with code A1YT at checkout.
Let's take a look at the dollar now, talk in reference to what we saw this morning. Again, unemployment numbers came out worse than, unemployment claims came out higher than expected, and caused a bit of some volatility on the dollar now. And you can see, grand scheme of things though, we're still bullish on the USD. We put out a documentary style video yesterday. James did a great job here at A1 Trading. He put together sort of a recap video of the Fed's sort of predicament right now. It was super insightful. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely encourage you to go check it out for yourself. But we remain bullish on USD. Part of the reason here for that is that when looking at the dollar from a technical perspective, chart looks pretty healthy. But on top of that, I mentioned, again, GDP data. Here's an example of something that looks really strong for the dollar. You have 2.7%. They're leading in that category in terms of GDP growth. Now, we've talked about other things on the channel recently. For example, seasonality for the dollar looks pretty good, something that we're interested in paying attention to. Like if I look at Euro USD, you can see March, historically a negative month, right? Both on the 5-year trend average and the last 10 years. This is the euro. So again, we're saying sell euro, buy dollars. Hey, Dre, what's up, man? Dre, thank you for tuning into the stream. Thanks for the $2 donated to the stream. Very much appreciated. And you mentioned pound USD, said, hey, Nick, GU looks like a break and retest. Let's look at GU. I'll give you guys my take on it. So GU also falls under, in terms of seasonality, right? Historical trends, we are bearish for the month of March. And so if I'm looking at GBP USD, right, I think we've got the same idea going on. Price breaking out to the downside here recently. Let's update our fibs just a little bit. In terms of a technical chart, right, a candlestick chart, price retesting here, it looks like an opportunity to potentially get short, but it's deeper than that. Like I said, yes, a chart can look pretty, but there's beyond that. When trying to place our hard-earned money, we try and look into more of the analytical side. So seasonality, like I said, looks good. Retail sentiment, this is another one, Dre, that might be interesting to you. 55% of retail traders are long. So there's a minority of people shorting the market in terms of retail side. Now, retail side is very interesting because when you get the retail crowd shorting something or buying something, it's generally an indicator, at least the way we look at it, an inverse correlator indicator. So if everyone is long, for example, AUD USD, that's a short signal. Now, this is not everyone in the market. This is just everyone who's on the retail side, the amateur traders, not the big institutions, not hedge funds, not banks, just the little guys. If the little guys are all short something, we look to get long. If the little guy is long everything, we look to get short, right? That's kind of how we use this retail positioning indicator. By the way, guys, this indicator that you're looking at, this is available for free. Retail positioning, this data that you're looking at is available for free using the free Edge Finder version that we've released recently. If that would be something that you would benefit from, if you'd like to look at this data on your own anytime, it's free to do so. All you have to do is click the link that we just dropped in the chat. If you're with me here on the A1 Trading channel or on the TraderNick channel, just click that link, fill out the form, and it will take you to where you can get access to this data for free. You can bookmark it to your thing and pull it up anytime you want. So make sure to grab that free data. Why not, if you haven't already? Yeah, GU looks interesting on the short side, like I said. And if I pull up the full factor of GU, let's look at this. Pound dollar, right? -8 overall. That's a strong sell bias signal. So I like this on the short side. Now, this is not a new signal. This has actually been a short bias trade for a few weeks now. COT data pointing towards very much a strong bullish reading for the dollar and a slight bearish reading for the pound. Again, we talked about retail sentiment, 55-45, so not too much there, but fundamentals, economic numbers, GDP growth outpacing in the U.S., inflation better in the U.S., unemployment better in the U.S., and interest rates higher and more attractive in the U.S., expected to rise as well. Pound USD looks like a sell based on everything that we look at. Again, this is not a perfect guarantee that this is going to work out, but this is an idea. And this is what we do on these streams. We go over trade setups and ideas, and we stack probabilities beyond just looking at charts. And again, I hope that that's what you get out of my streams. I hope that if you are a regular viewer, then you know, the goal here is not just to look at technical analysis, but beyond that, to go into fundamentals, go into retail sentiment, COT data, right? Analyze the full picture of the market instead of just looking at only the charts. Charts can be deceiving, guys. That's the thing. Sometimes price action is not correct, right? Price action is not 100% perfect at predicting the markets by any means. It is somewhat subjective. Someone looks at a support chart or a support zone, and other people see resistance there, or trend lines are drawn very differently. There's no hard science when it comes to technical analysis. So yeah.
Don't forget to check out the links in the description if you want our broker recommendation, access to our free Discord, free Edge Finder, or want to chat with us on Telegram. Remember, you can watch us live in the markets every morning starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have lots more free trading tools and content available on our website, a1trading.com. Thanks for watching.